Hey guys, welcome to tonight's live. We have a crazy live tonight with the one and only Gnome Productions. Now, if you guys don't know who he is, you're going to know who he is very soon because he is changing the game of real estate videography. He's implementing new patterns, new styles, new editing tricks, new ethos into the community, and we're excited to have him. If you guys are watching this live or you're watching the replay, you guys have seen his video, and likely your clients have seen his videos as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a Jazzy Fizzle production.
Check this out.
Okay.
I look good.
The problem I think I see today with most social media content is what I see with my own content and then just the general sense is most videos just aren't simple enough. Like the two videos that we're going to be breaking down today, like they're super simple. And I think part of it is like the songs that we use in these videos are like those early 2000 hits. Like they just created music differently in that era. And like every time you turned it on, like you wanted to watch it or like listen to it like the whole way through because like the way that they made music was like they would get you like so excited about, what they were talking about, but also the words themselves were like very descriptive language. And, it makes it good for like trends like this because it keeps people engaged because the visuals of the words like resonate with people. With social media content specifically, one thing I've found like over and over again is like whenever I structure my videos, whenever I first start a video, whenever I do anything that's like I know is gonna like gain that that first initial traction is like, how simple is it? How easy is it for somebody to just sit and watch and be like, I want to watch this. I understand it. Like, let's keep watching all the way through. And the easier and simpler that I can create a video, like the more that it's going to be pushed out on the algorithm. And, a lot of videos don't answer this question. Why should someone care or continue to watch this video? And that should be in the first few seconds, as we all know, the hook. But there's always new ways to innovate the hook. There's always new ways to think outside the box, to like use the song that the choice that you choose and bring the words directly from the song onto the screen, which is a different way. But the message, of course, has to be clear and it has to match the rhythm. And I'll jump into that more like as I start breaking down the edit and how rhythm of the song is so important whenever you're like editing and how you can rewatch and make sure you're on rhythm as you're going through the edit. And, these things like they'll start to click like once you do more and more of them, but usually it's like a dance. It's like a rhythm you want to have like with the music on the edit. And I'm sure most people who edit understand that it takes a certain, you have to get into it a little bit. And then there also has to be an anchor. So the anchor is, property videos without agents need a visual or an emotional anchor to create that rememberability factor for it to be share worthy. So like, for example, the two videos that I'll be bringing out today, like that emotional anchor or that visual anchor was the check this out or ladies and gentlemen. It's like the first thing that they see is ladies and gentlemen. It's like, whoa, this is unique. This is different. Like this is something new.
I remember my wife, she was like, check this. She was literally like, check it out. She was like, she showed me the ladies and gentlemen video. I was like, that is fresh. So that's a new perspective. So you're absolutely spot on with the anchor. I would compare the anchor to a hook. The anchor is essentially the hook of a non-agent branded video. And it's exciting because for so long we think that the agent branded video is what's only going to work. That's what's going to get the shares, and if it's unbranded, it's not as fun. And sometimes you have an agent who doesn't want to be on camera, so this is really a great solution as well to be able to use problem, message, anchor framework for your video. So I think it's a great idea.
Because in reality, it's really hard to make these types of videos interesting when it's just a house. And there's like things that you can start to do that are like this or similar to this or thinking outside of the box to like get someone engaged in watching like a full property tour. If like, especially for property tours, most property tours have a fall off rate because people don't see a reason to watch these cinematics of shots or whatever it may be, like for a video like that, if there's no person engaging us at the beginning of the video. So like I'll probably try to like answer questions on like how agents, how to implement the same thing with agents. But I mean, for the most part, the agent being on screen is part of that hook. But this is going to be a lot of like, okay, no agent is here. Like, how do we continue to gain that same traction? I call it the visual stun gun, but it's like, okay, this video is making me want to watch it within the first 3 seconds because it's something, of course, unique. It's something new, fresh, and like it gives me a visual very fast that also corresponds with audio, which I'll talk about, some a little bit later. But it's all about finding those creative ways to stop that scroll and to like visually, like people are scrolling. They're like either, of course, they're gonna want to stop and watch, or they're gonna want to. Who cares? Even if it's a cool house, like this is a really cool house. Like I probably could have done a cool edit and still got some pretty good views, but this takes it to another level that maybe agents or my builder client at the time, he didn't know I was going to do this, but he's probably a long-term client now because this is a very high portfolio piece for him now. But it doesn't have to always be within direct context of what the video itself is about. So like the song is talking about check this out, all this other stuff, which is in somewhat contextual of check out this video, but it doesn't always have to have that check this out like header, if that makes sense. Like if I were to use like a different song that has like a different lyrical like connection with the text itself, it's also that hook that can still get people's attention and also back up with a visual. And so that's something that I've probably noticed that people don't really recognize outside of like the normal like real estate videos that they can start doing like stuff with text and stuff like that. But I mean, to be fair, I saw people doing it with cars and car edits and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? Like it's working, and I find where things are working and I try to apply that to what I'm doing. And it creates a visual stun gun in a way. Like people said they watched it 10, 20 times. I'm like, oh shoot, that's crazy. And I also looped it. So that's another way to continue to keep people on it and push it out to more people, helps your client, helps people get visuals on the property. It also provides instant clarity. Like they're watching a video, there's instant clarity of like, whoa, like, this is cool. Like I know what's going on. I know what it's talking about. And then it triggers like an emotional reaction because, oh, I know this song. This is an old classic. Like I got to check out what they did with this song. And so it's like, okay, people are already invested because of the song. They're second invested because of the visual with the song. And now they're like, okay, like I got to keep watching. And then there's things that we do throughout a video to continue to keep that same reaction from someone as they continue to watch. And so it's almost, you're trying to repeat that same initial reaction multiple times. And as you're editing, you'll see how I did it in this one and how it worked. I mean, how I did it and how I did it in edit. And then you'll notice like why this was a thing that worked so well. But I mean, some other people in the chat, they recreated it and they did really good. I think Miko, he did one version of this and I think it's almost at 1 million views, which I'm like, oh shoot, like that's more than what I got. But it shows you that people are wanting to watch like formats that keep them hooked the whole time.
That's why we say run the play, right? At Academy, we say run the play. What we share with you guys from our own experience, we know it works, which is why we share it. Nothing is, shared because we think it's a clever idea. Everything we share is, because we got results from it. And then when we bring on guests, they're sharing what's worked for them. They're here for a reason, and just run the play. You want to have a shortcut to your success. Take a proven model. There's no need to go find out how to do something from scratch when you could go and do it yourself. Because once you learn to do this, then you'll be like, all right, I can do that now. What if I tried this? And that's exactly what Jeff created here, with something brand new. So appreciate you sharing that. What do you have on the next slide?
The art of retention. It relies on visual matching and then visual switching. And this is something I've been learning like the past few months, really, probably since a lot of this stuff has been talked about a lot more and more. But visual matching and visual switching A lot of it has to do with, of course, camera motion, and people in Studio 910 talk about that a lot, but camera motion and the directions that you're using within the camera movements itself. And those are parts of the flow, parts of the simplicity of the edit. So if you're like flowing in a certain direction, you want to make sure that your second speed ramp is, of course, going in a similar direction, or at least in a way that it flows with the previous. And so like the switching, the visual switching is similar in that way, where it's like you're matching the visual, whether it be like a text or something, and then you're matching that back to a different speed ramp, and they're flowing together. But not overcomplicating it. And I think there's a sweet spot that you can use for engagement and still be clear, because sometimes I see a lot of videos that are like super overly edited and like they're kind of too much. And sometimes it only gets other creators to respond rather than like the audience that we're trying to pertain to, which is more of a simpler, clear message. And which isn't bad, like doing some fancier edits from time to time if you're doing like a director's cut. But when I'm making stuff for clients especially, and I wanted to have that clear message and continue to like give them new clients as well, like I want to make sure that I'm not going too over the top. And that's kind of good for me because I don't have to edit as much as well. But you don't want to overwhelm them with too much. The science behind attention. So social media storytelling in general, it's about building and releasing tension very quickly. And I think I've heard Claudio probably say this before, but you have to, in order to keep someone engaged, like with very short period of time, you have to be quicker on how you're building tension and how you're releasing the tension. And once we get into the edit, of course, I'll show you the parts where I'm doing this, but you have to do a lot faster, because in movie storytelling and storytelling longer formats, like you can take more time to build up that story. And really in social media, the game is like, if you want more retention, you're going to have to build and release tension very quickly throughout a video. And, that's what I've noticed. And of course, Claudio teaches a certain framework that helps with that as well. But especially without agents in the video, it's important to use similar formats and continue to keep that in mind. When it comes to visuals and audio, and I can't wait to get into this because I think JT talks about it a lot. Claudio, of course, talks about it a lot. And even when JT started talking about it, JT Visuals, if y'all don't know who he is, he's doing some cool stuff. But, he talks about how the audio is like 80% of the video. And, I think that's very good information. But taking it a step further, it's like if your visuals aren't supporting the audio, then like you're doing the audio disservice sometimes. And it's like the way that it clumps all together too is with that clear structure, that clear vision, a clear way for people to like understand what this video is even about in the first place. Or even gives them that interest to like want to have more information about this thing or this thing that they're learning or having fun watching. So this is what Claudio was talking about earlier. It's stacking the hook. It's having those small hooks throughout a video. And you see this in the video that we made. You have the first, check this out. That's within the first 2 to 5 seconds. And then 2 to 5 seconds later, I've got another one. I look good. And then it goes back in and people are like, okay. But like, they know something else is about to happen in the song. They know the song, they recognize the song, and they're like, oh, the next part's coming up. And so that edit is syncing with what the song is talking about too. And then I'll talk about, some more parts of the song that I intentionally used to keep that hook like there the whole entire time. But like, especially in the song where it talks about, it says something about like, I got money or something like that. Like I put the price of the house and I put a money sign underneath it. And so as I'm building out these hook structures, I'm keeping in mind the song, and I'm keeping in mind like, what is this song talking about and how can I like support it with the video?